There is the time of clocks, regular, measurable, indifferent. A second follows another second with perfect obedience. And then there is the time we live. A minute of fear can feel immense. An hour of joy can disappear. A childhood summer can seem endless, while years of routine vanish almost without a trace. We speak of time as though it were one thing, but science suggests otherwise. The brain does not appear to contain a single master clock governing all temporal experience. Instead, time perception emerges from interacting systems involved in attention, memory, bodily awareness, and prediction. So perhaps time is not only what passes outside us. Perhaps time is also something the mind creates from within. Time changes when attention changes. When we wait, time thickens. When we watch it, it seems to slow. Research on duration judgment shows that when attention is directed toward time, intervals are often experienced as longer. But when attention is absorbed by action, story, or flow, time may feel compressed. This is why boredom expands a room, why a delayed reply can become an era, why the hospital corridor at night seems to have no end. And yet the opposite is also true. In music, in creation, in love, in play, we stop counting. Hours fold into minutes. The self leaves the threshold of the clock behind. Time is not only made of duration, it is made of awareness. Emotion bends time. Fear can stretch a moment. Grief can make a day feel immovable. Longing can pull the future into the present before it has arrived. Studies show that emotional arousal, especially under threat or intensity, can alter perceived duration. The body and brain do not simply register emotion and time separately, they interact. Regions involved in bodily feeling, including the insula, appear to play an important role in this lived sense of time. Longing can pull the future into the present before it has arrived. This may be why an accident seems slower than it was, why dread enlarges what has not yet happened, why sorrow makes time heavy. And joy has its own temporal law. Under wonder, delight, or absorption, time often flows without resistance. Emotion does not only color experience, it changes the shape of time itself. There is the time we live, and there is the time we remember. These are not the same. When we judge time afterward, memory becomes central. Experiences rich in novelty, change, and detail often seem longer in retrospect, because the mind has more markers from which to reconstruct them. Routine, by contrast, leaves fewer traces and can collapse in memory. This is why a journey may feel brief while it is happening, but vast once it is over. Why childhood often appears expansive. Why repetitive years can disappear into one another. The past is not stored as a continuous film. It is rebuilt from fragments, images, sensations, rooms, voices. And in that reconstruction, time is reshaped. The remembered life is edited, not by the clock, but by significance. We do not experience time as detached observers. We experience it through a living body. Heartbeat, breath, fatigue, pain, agitation, rest. All these internal rhythms influence the texture of time. Research on interoception suggests that awareness of internal bodily states is closely related to subjective time experience. A racing heart can intensify the present. Insomnia can make night feel endless. Pain can imprison consciousness in the now. And beyond the body's moment-to-moment signals, human life also unfolds within circadian rhythms, the roughly 24-hour biological cycles that influence sleep, alertness, mood, and cognition. These rhythms help organize how time is felt across the day. Morning is not the same country as midnight. We do not simply measure time, we inhabit it through rhythms. And perhaps this is why time feels so intimate, because it is not only around us, it is inside us. The clock can tell us how long something lasted, but it cannot tell us what it meant. It cannot measure the density of a farewell, the suspended instant before bad news, the strange elasticity of waiting, the heaviness of grief, the disappearance of hours inside wonder, the sudden acceleration of a life looking back on itself. Science can describe many of the mechanisms: attention, emotion, memory, neural coordination, bodily rhythm. But what emerges from these mechanisms is something deeply human. Not only duration, but experience. The universe may move in time, but human beings give time its texture.